the inside, people. Okay, this camera. All right. So we're back on the inside, and we are just about 6:31 in Trinidad and Tobago. Right now, I have a young lady with me who is representing the PEP, who is another option. If you did not know, in elections, in the by-elections and local government elections, and even working towards the general election coming up in a couple years or maybe shorter, we don't know. But she's going up for Belmont East, all right, in the by-elections, and she's been campaigning in the Belmont area and environs, and she's with us this morning. Her name is Felicia Holder, and she's been on the program already well, I don't know if it's the head of the party, Philip Alexander.
Yes,
he's the political leader.
Yes.
All right, nice. But we ain't here to talk about Philip. We're here to talk about you. All right? So, morning to you, Felicia. Thanks for coming.
Stephen.
You're running the traffic this morning, or?
I did not. I campaigned yesterday. So tired.
Or the campaigning?
Yes, listen.
Lord of mercy. Well, you're getting a taste of it, I guess.
A taste, and I was just telling you off it that I love it. Like, oh my God, this has been one of the best experiences of my life, I swear to you. Best experience.
A ball, though. She said the campaign is strenuous, but I'm having fun.
Yes.
Oh, Lord. I was like, well, how could you have fun, you know, if it's so strenuous? Because do you understand what you're about to take on?
You know, every time I sit or I stand and I talk to somebody and I hear another problem, I go to myself, I'm like, you realize that if you win this, you're about to represent over 3,000 people in Belmont who are going, 3,000 people with 3,000 needs. Some of them may be the same, some may be different.
Right.
And they are literally going to come to you for everything. Do you realize that? I asked myself that question. I answered myself, yeah, let's do it. I'm like, this is exciting. And I've already been mapping out ways of how I'm going to reach the people. I'm telling people from now, you can have my number, win, lose, or draw, call me. Listen, yesterday I bounced up some of the men who lime on Pigot's Corner. As a child, I used to pass them all the time, and now I'm speaking to them in person. I say, you know, Uncle Kent, it's been so nice to actually know you all, knock a bear with you all. I've seen you all in the community, and now this whole campaigning experience has allowed me to now interact with a lot of the people. So for me, it's been a community building experience, and I love it. I love people, and I love to interact with people. So this.
Well, listen, I love people too, but one of the reasons why people call this programs is Stephanie should get into this and Stephanie should get into it. No. No.
You have to have the heart and the passion for it too. I am very passionate about helping people. I consider myself an empath, so listening to people tell me about their sufferings and things that are bothering them, my first instinct is, how can I help? How can I fix it? So this is the perfect position for me.
But I have no problem with that, you know. My problem is people.
In what sense?
Okay. You have to be real thick-skinned to do what you're about to do. If you win, right?
Definitely. I mean, the first day that my photo went out on Facebook and it was the launch of the campaign, it started immediately. Of course, you get the people who are like, oh my God, I support you, Felicia, all the love and all. But then you get a lot of hate too. Like,
that's what I'm talking about.
I've seen people say things like who she feels she is, and
right.
she not getting one seat, and,
right.
and what you talking about. And I mean, but I prepared myself for this. Remember, I was involved in politics a little bit before, not to this in terms of being as out there as I am now, but I mean, I've had some experience in terms of dealing with people who are not, they don't necessarily support what you're doing. I've dealt with people who are on the sidelines, and then I've dealt with the extreme supporters. Okay. So my mother also raised me to be very thick-skinned. I mean, you can tell I was born with one arm. I've heard insults. I've heard people say things, and it rolls off my back.
Because of your I know you say you're differently able.
Differently able. I prefer that statement.
I read the article where you prefer differently able. Yes. So although you're differently abled, I would imagine that you would have had to endure a lot more, you know, how I could put it, boy. You would
insults,
have had
teasing.
Not just insults and teasing, but you would have had to done more to overcome than the average person, right?
Definitely.
Especially to be where you are right now, wearing a T-shirt for a political party and about to challenge for a local government position.
Yes.
And then the strain that comes with that, the strenuous schedule, which you're now getting at, which you're getting a taste. I don't want to say now getting a taste because you have been there before. You understand what is needed. You see me, I know Trinidadian people like this and plenty of them, all I know I just talk it plain, simple, straight up to the point. I don't care who vex and who invex with me. All you're ungrateful. About 85% all you just ungrateful. I'm telling you. You will try your best, go out there, do what you have to do, and then they will turn around and they will. And I telling you, if you feel like lie, ask Umbala.
Well,
ask George Umbala Joseph about grateful. And I telling all you. And there are many other people. But that is why I would never get into that. I'd rather sit here and I could help who I could help. But you see, that sort of responsibility is a big leap from sitting here and jumping to what you're about to think. And I mean no disrespect. I just being real with all you. All I know I just always be real. Yeah. So you're ready with that? With that kind of, you know.
I'm ready to take it on head. But you see, I also have the support of the Progressive Empowerment Party behind me. Yeah? I know that if I have an issue in my district, in the Port of Spain Corporation, I can go to my team, listen, y'all, I need your help with it. We have a team of people who are experienced experts in this field. So like I said, you know, it's a completely different arena, but I am just excited to step into it.
I like your reaction just now when I say, oh, you're ungrateful. She's like, you just said that? Yes, yes. All right, I love everybody, you know, but it's something that we need to work on. Because you can't please everybody, and I think that's what I mean. You can't please everybody, and because of that, you're going to do for some, and some not going to like you. And those are the people I'm talking about. You see the people that will never give you credit for what you have achieved. Those are the people I'm talking about.
Okay, well, I understand those. Yeah, definitely. You cannot please everybody.
I think that's what I meant to say.
Yeah, you can't please everybody, but you do your best.
That's right. That's right. But there are people that you won't be able to please. Now, some of the issues that we're going to discuss right now very quickly here. Water shortages, drainage, and garbage disposal. Now, Pigot's Corner, there was a video that we had with the flooding. It was highlighted by one of the residents there. And he was saying,
actually.
Yeah, and he was saying better, I think it's Akil Camps.
Yes.
Right, and he was saying better than that, Belmont people. How long we go take this for?
Yeah.
Is that something, I mean, he said that it's years now Belmont has been flooding. Good. And that particular constituency has been under, I don't even want to say the watch or the, it's been under the PNM for as long as I know it. I don't think I've ever seen it under anybody else. I can't remember with NAR winning 33-3. I can't remember if that was
I
one
believe
of
it
the
was under NAR at one
on
point.
NAR at that one point in time. Okay. So it's majority. I mean, you can't even count that. Because when you're just supposed, 40-something years? As opposed to 4 or 5 maybe?
I believe 3.
3?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you can't, no other political party or no other politician under any other banner has really been given an opportunity in a lot of areas in Trinidad and Tobago, even in UNC strongholds. You understand what I'm saying? So, when you look at, I mean, I drive through Belmont on a regular basis. It's the narrowest roads in Port of Spain.
Those roads, a lot of those roads were not built for vehicles, but cars pass through. You'll never believe. Some people, because I live in Belmont and I'm accustomed with the lanes, people ask me sometimes, how do you drive up those streets? I'm like, listen, you cannot, you're a driver when you can say you live and you have driven in roads in Belmont. Roads are very narrow.
Very narrow. But in terms of the water supply now there are a lot of people who, in Trinidad and Tobago, a lot of areas that do not get consistent water. I've always found that to be a ridiculous thing, especially in 2018. How you plan on tackling that? Because you're going to need to partner with WASA.
Yeah.
But before you could even partner with WASA, you're going to have to go through central government. You're going to have to deal with who in power.
Yeah. Well, my plan is one, and I said it in my interview yesterday, I plan to be a thorn in the side of every state agency that is responsible for providing service to my people.
Right.
Now, like you said, it's 2018, and it's unbelievable that people have to be toting water in this day and age. And it's a complaint that I've been getting a lot from people in Belmont. Oh boy, it's 2018, how I still have... And I understand that. And my plan is I do want to get in there in OASA to find out what is happening. Firstly, before we even get there, I want to give me a chance to sit in that council. I want to do an independent audit into the spend of the Belmont and the Port of Spain Corporation, because I cannot understand how it is we have budgets of, I believe it's $1.2 billion, and it is so hard to get such minimal service in Belmont East. Yeah. It is unbelievable to me that at this stage we have roads that have not been paved for over 10, 15 years. We have streets that still don't have signs. We have pavements that are dilapidated. And I say these things, some people are like, pavements are what they do. But think about people with disabilities. I met a blind man the other day on my walkabout. And when I tell you I love this experience, I love it because I get to meet, interact, and hear from people. This man is blind. And I noticed him. He's walking on the Valley Road. He's blind. He has a stick in his hand. And I asked him, sir, what is your experience as being a blind man? Walking down a road that has no sidewalks, cars are just whizzing past. He said, well, many times I get knocked by a wing mirror.
Wow.
And these are the things that I think about, and I automatically start to internalize. How can I help somebody like him?
Like that.
The street is not built to have a pavement, clearly. But there are solutions for that. It clearly needs to have some kind of humps on the street, the way people are speeding past. And I know I'm segueing here, but my point of saying all of this is that I want to do an audit to find out what the hell is happening inside of that corporation. Where's the money being spent?
That's a good question, because that's the question of questions, people. Is where the money does we spend? It's not where the money, is where is the money going? Because when you look at some of these constituencies, and this is not a PNM, this is not an anti-PNM or anti-UNC thing. This is a pro-Trinidad and Tobago conversation.
Yeah.
So I want you all to get that correct, because too many times you all feel it's an anti-this or anti-that. No, it's a pro-country. You look in certain UNC strongholds, you look in certain PNM strongholds, and you wonder, well, how these people still voting for these people? And you can't say to me that the UNC don't have the opportunity, didn't have the opportunity to fix up their constituencies topper.
Yeah.
Even the roads and things, like you go to the Naparima Mayaro Road. You can't say, well, they didn't have enough time to work with engineers to see how they could structure that or restructure it and spend money down there. Everybody had the opportunity to see about the constituencies. Right? So you wonder, well, but how did this go back and still vote for the same people?
And Safwan, this is why as much as this is a local government elections, I'm not passing up the opportunity to introduce some of our national policies, given the chance to run and win a general election, because water management, I can do so much on a local government level. Yeah, I will go into WASA and I will be pressing and trying my best to get the needs met of the people. But I also tell people, do you know that if all 41 constituencies were in charge of themselves, they were in charge of providing their own water management, their own water retention ponds, their own source of water, rather than us pulling from a couple central sources, water coming all the way from south when you live in Port of Spain. If each constituency had its opportunity to manage its own public works, etc., utilities, we would be in a better state. And people are like, yeah, that's true. If we have the Savannah right there, which is a natural aquifer, Belmont East, Belmont, Port of Spain, North, St. Anne's West does not have to suffer for water the way we are. Where is the government? Where are the people with the progressive thinking, you know what? Come next 20 years, let us... Clearly, the pipe system, the water system in Trinidad and Tobago needs a lot of work. But we're spending time to patch and fix, and rather than think progressively in terms of how are we going to now make water for all a real and tangible goal in 2018.
All right. Now, just a couple other things you want to touch on before we close, because I know you have limited time. I know you're on our next network this morning. All right? But before I just tackle the drainage, I want the people of Belmont to understand. I live in St. James, which is part of Port of Spain as well. St. James is just a stone throw away from Belmont. And we very rarely have a problem in St. James when it comes to water. I want you to just think about that for 1 second. All right? Very rare do we get problems with water. Unless it's some major thing happen. and some major pipe burst, some main or something, and Wassa now has to lock off the water. That is when St. James wouldn't have water for a couple of days or whatever the case is. But St. James, a stone throw away from Belmont, gets water on a consistent basis. So I just want to think about that. Drainage.
Yesterday on a walkabout, I I happened to pass we were in a lane, gosh, I forgot the name of it, off of St. Francis Valley Road, and I'm speaking to one of the residents, a couple of the residents, and they're letting me know about their complaints. Drainage was one, because right behind or between their homes, a major waterway is running, and apparently when it rains, and when it rained 2 weeks ago on Pigot's Corner, the water, and this is a high drainer, but the water rises and it actually floods into their yard. Drainage is a huge problem, and people, the kind of responses that I get with relation to drainage, it is absurd. I agree. People, yes, we are responsible. We need to not litter and throw our trash away properly. But I'm looking at that drain, and it's filled with debris, concrete blocks, and I'm wondering, where's the water actually getting an opportunity to run off? This drain has not been dredged in a while. It has not been. And this is why
But the minister said they've been dealing with the water courses.
Clearly not the ones that in Belmont, because I'm looking at it and that's not the case.
Yeah.
So drainage is an issue that can be dealt with twofold, in my opinion. One, the waterways, they clearly need to be cleaned and dealt with on a regular basis. I read an article that was actually telling us to prepare for flooding because no major works have been done to clean the drains. And I'm like, how could a country that experienced storm breath prepare for flooding?
Do you move out?
Did you hear when the boat was donated to Trinidad and Tobago? Who was it, boy? Was it the U.S. Embassy that donated a boat to us? Oh. Yeah, it's absurd. Prepare for the floods that were about to come, which, of course, we saw last week or 2 Sundays ago that did happen. Waterways need to be cleaned. The litter, I did a video of my own because I was on Pigot's Corner with Akil at the time, and rushing down the road was a lot of garbage bags, debris, and it dovetails into the garbage disposal issue that Belmont East experiences. There are no designated spots to now throw your rubbish. You can leave it on a wall and the trucks would either come and collect it, or sometimes it's just not collected at all. We need, and because I say dovetails, we need to have a proper waste management system in Belmont. A lot of these things boil down to simple management, and I say it all the time. I come from a corporate background, and I know people might say, community service. Yeah, I did my share of community service, but I think having a corporate and a management background, a budgeting background too, which is why I'm so desperate to do that audit.
The audit, right. I think you should.
Allows me to now think very critically in terms of just a simple thing, in my opinion, as waste management. Like you say, a lot of the lanes and the streets in Belmont are very tiny. A big garbage disposal truck cannot access an area like that. So why not have several designated areas for these 5 lanes? Okay, this is where you can throw your rubbish on a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Friday. Of course, along with it will come education, because you have to let the people know, listen, you see how you used to go and dump your rubbish by St. Margaret's Corner, you can't do that anymore. You now have to do X, Y, Z. But as it is right now, there are no systems in place. Absolutely no proper systems in place. Under a littering sign, Philip was actually in Belmont last night. He did a live video. Under a littering sign plastered behind a whole lot of PNM and UNC flyers, like, I don't understand, on the ground, garbage. Piled up, piles and piles of garbage. And we wonder why flooding is an issue. We wonder why waste management is an issue, because we don't have any management in place.
Well, I agree with you there 100%. I've always said the problem we have in Trinidad and Tobago is we have a mismanagement problem that we need to deal with.
Definitely.
Everything in this country has been mismanaged. And it's been mismanaged for years. And, you said something in an article that I read when I came back yesterday. It was in the Newsday. You said that people are complaining today about the same problems they had 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And doesn't that make you feel sometimes, well, I wonder if I really like I'm wasting my time. Because if you could be in 2018 now, with all the money that passed through Trinidad and Tobago, right? And you could be in Trinidad now, you could be in 2018, and you could be complaining about the same simple things that you were complaining about 10 years ago. You don't think that's a problem that the people in this country need to work out amongst themselves to change their mindset? It's a mindset.
No, I don't think so. And maybe because I'm looking at it differently. The fact that we are complaining about the same things that we complained about 2 years ago in the last local election, 3 years before that, 20 years before that, because my 20 years complaint was the fact that I needed a street light on my street. I still never got one.
Right.
And my neighbor actually had to put up his own system, which still does not, it still does not cover the entire street. So there's still an area of darkness. And for me, it's not frustrating because, in my opinion, we have never had governments, local or central, that have really cared about the well-being of the citizens. Mm-hmm. I cannot believe that in a country that has spent, in the past 56 years, over $3 trillion, you know, which is, when I saw these zeros after what $1 trillion looks like, I was like, my mind was blown. Because I look around my country, I look around my constituency, I look around my district of Belmont East, and I ask this question: where did that money go? Where did that money go?
Yeah. And I think part of the problem is the population, or the wider part of the population, does not understand they don't understand what $1 billion is.
They don't, and
you understand? If they have an idea of what $1 billion could do, even in this market today, you'd start to think differently.
Yeah.
You know, but that's a conversation for another day, because I know you got to go up, you got to wrap things up. We're 7 minutes away from around 7 o'clock. But I'll give you the opportunity to, talk to the people of Belmont East who are watching this one. The rest of Trinidad and Tobago for that matter, because obviously the PEP is not going to stop after this. Obviously, you all are looking to grow and go further into and actually compete in a general election. So, what do you want to say to the people before you go?
Which is my Belmont East cameras. Is this one? Okay, great.
Yeah.
I like to talk directly to my people.
Belmont East camera.
Belmont East, good morning. Nice to see you again. Listen, I've been speaking to a lot of you, and I've been hearing about you're being fed up, you're disenchanted, you don't even know if you should be voting in this next upcoming election. And this is my message to you. Belmont has been a PNM stronghold for too long. I'm saying it exactly like that. We have been a PNM stronghold for too long to be experiencing the things that we're discussing on repeat today. Water management, we still at this stage cannot say that we have water consistently. And not just consistently, some people don't have water for days, weeks on end. Garbage disposal, it's 2018, come on. We should by now be able to have a place that we can keep our community clean, be able to throw away our rubbish. I am doing this because I am just like you. I am fed up. I am fed up of the same old. I'm fed up of the broken promises. I am fed up of people telling me, give me a vote, and nothing happens. And I'm saying, give me a chance, because I've never been involved in this. We have been picking and rotating between the same people for the past four decades, and it is time that we stop. It is time that we take charge of our democracy, because non-voting is not going to help the community. I need every single non-voter, every voter who's on the fence, every voter who was on the other side of the fence to hop over on my side and realize I, Felicia Holder, want to work very, very, very hard for Belmont East. This is exciting for me because I am enjoying every single minute of meeting people, meeting the needs of my people, speaking to them, interacting with them, and it's not going to stop if and when I get into office. So I'm asking you to give me a chance, July the 16th, which is exactly
Monday. That's
next
Monday,
week,
1 week,
Monday.
Yeah, 7 days.
July the 16th, I would appreciate you putting your X by Felicia Holder, by this nice little umbrella with the 3 people underneath. That is where you're putting your vote. So,
all right.
Thank you very much.
So that is Felicia Holder, the PEP's candidate for Belmont East in the upcoming by-elections in that particular constituency. So, next week, Monday, you'll have your choice to make. And, of course, we welcome all the candidates on the show this week if they would like to come on. I know we're having, your colleague is Christophe. Christophe.
Yes.
Who is going up for the Barataria.
Yes.
Barataria seat. So he's going to be on Thursday. So look out for that. In the meantime, thanks a lot for coming. And I know you got to whisk away. They got to whisk you away.
Yes.
And they got to slow to the other network. Because I know you all don't get much media attention. So when you get to the ticket,
I have to grasp it now.
All right. So I'll tell you what. We're going to take a break. When we return, hour number 2. SRP sets himself on fire. We're going to take a look at that graphic video when we return.